Yo, yo, what's good, fam? It's your brother Cool. Spring is in the air. Yeah, baby. What's good with y'all? Quick bill, man. Quick bill. It's very important, man. If you don't understand how this game is being operated and how shit runs, you're gonna be like a fish out of water. You're gonna be struggling. You're just gonna be making impulsive decisions, doing impulsive things that you think is going to work out for your best interest, and it turns out that they don't. And it will turn out that you didn't do your due diligence, or that you didn't research deep enough. And by the time you realize these things, it's already going to be too late. You already got spanked on the ass. You know what I'm saying? In all forms, whether that be financial, whether that be personal, whether that be internal, whether that be dealing with your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? The food on the table, etc. Relationships, families, all that. The U.S. citizen is not a who. I did this video a while back where I was like, the who or the what? The U.S. citizen is not a who. So now you have to ask yourself a question. If it's either, well, brother, cool. If it's either between a who or a what, and the U.S. citizen is a what, then who's the who? And the who is you, the people, right? Now, if I go to the Census Bureau, right, and you're dealing with classifications, and you look up the definitions for the 5 classifications that are distinct for this particular side of the continent on this government called the United States of America, there are 5 classifications, right? When it comes to dealing with your Social Security, there's the American Indian, there's the Asian, there's the Black or African American, there's the Hawaiian Pacific Islander, okay, and then there's the white, Now, don't take what I'm saying, right? Do your due diligence. I'm telling you where to go find this shit at. Census Bureau. And if you want to be specific, you can pull up the SF form 181, and it will have the classifications with the definitions right next to it. Now, the SS5 form used to have the definitions for each classification on that form, but they took it out. It's been taken out. Okay? So if you want to figure out what these classifications mean when you are selecting them, it's best that you read up on what the definitions actually are. Okay? According to the census. Now, according to the census, out of the 5 classifications of people, right, there's only one that does not have origins in people, and that is the Black or African American. Now, the American Indian, for starters, right, when you look at the definition, it's going to start off like this. A person having origins in any of the original people. And then it'll start to name territories. When you look up Asian, it'll start off like this. A person having origins in any of the original people, and then it'll start naming the territories. When you look at Hawaiian Pacific Islander, and you begin to read the classifications on that, it'll start off the same. It'll say a person having origins in any of the original people. When you look at white, it's going to start off by saying a person having origins in any of the original people, and then they'll name those territories. But this part always seems to skip over everyone's mind. If you have a person and you have a people in the same definition, then those 2 words do not mean the same thing. So therefore, if the American Indian, for example, is a person that has origins in any of the original people, so that means the people, or any one of the original people, have a person that originates in them. Now, keep that same energy and momentum. When you are born, your mother did not give birth to a person. Your mother, who is a flesh and blood, she is a people. Irregardless of the fact if she's identified legally as a people or a thing, she is still a people biologically. Therefore, when she gave birth to you, she didn't give birth to a person. She gave birth to a people. And after that people was born, then from the likeness and image of that people, a person was created. And soon after that person was created and the registrar signed off on that, a delegated agent took that, now what we will call a birth certificate, down to the county court, okay, of the specific county you were born in. Because every city is located within a county, and every county has a county court. So therefore, once the registrar signed off on the birth certificate, a delegated agent went down to the county with your birth certificate and filed it on the record. So once that happened, a filing number was placed on that birth certificate, and now that person became a legal entity, meaning it could now be used for legal purposes. Okay? You have a lot of people out here who are still confusing themselves with the U.S. citizen. This is why when you look at the SS5 form for Social Security, for question number 18, it will ask you, what is your relationship to the person in item 1? Why is it asking you, what is your relationship to the person in item 1? Because according to the Census Bureau, you can be either two things. According to the definition, you can either be a person, or you can either be one of the original people that that particular person has origins in. Now, when you look up the term person, and you can define this clearly in Title 26 of the United States Codes, which is dealing with the IRS, etc., also dealing with Social Security. So when Social Security uses the term person, they're referring to a corporation, a partnership, an individual, or an estate. They're not referring to a people. So understand, a person is a legal entity. A people is one who is the owner or in possession of that legal entity, who has the right to use that legal entity. Okay? So, on your SS5 form, when you are marking that this particular person is a U.S. citizen, you are not establishing that that person is you. You are establishing the fact that this person was created in the fictitious jurisdiction known as the state of, right? So my flesh and blood physique was born from my mother's womb in Maryland State. When my person was then created thereafter, the jurisdiction from which that person was created was called the state of Maryland, which is very different from Maryland State. Pull up a map for me. Pull up a map for me of the United States of America and tell me where on the map you will ever find the state of Maryland. Where on the map you will ever find the state of New York. Where on the map will you ever find the state of Mississippi, the state of Nevada, the state of Utah, the state of Washington, the state of California. Where on a map will you find such places? Nowhere, because they don't exist on a map. It doesn't really exist. What is real is Maryland State, Washington State, California State. When you do your further research into the Organic Act of the District of Columbia, you see how I'm giving you primary sources for you to go and look for yourself. When you look up the Organic Act of the District of Columbia, 1871, 1871 was when the District of Columbia was made. So all those state of entities are underneath the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia, which is not the same thing as the United States of America. So when people are all out here talking about the United States Corporation, the true name of that entity is the District of Columbia, doing business as the United States Corporation. It's not doing business as the United States of America. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You better get that straight. Before 1871, there was no such thing called a U.S. citizen. You understand? So understand that if you're not identifying as a people, then you're identifying as a person. And that person is, according to here, a U.S. citizen. Why? Because that person was created from a fictitious jurisdiction. The whole point of authenticating the birth certificate is so you can take that same person and bring them out of the District of Columbia back into the United States of America, which is why once you're done with the authentication process, you're going to get a front cover on your authenticated birth certificate that says United States of America. You understand? Because the United States of America is where the people dwell. The persons dwell in the state of, or the District of Columbia, doing business as the United States Corporation Company, or the United States, or the U.S. But most people cannot get that past. They cannot digest that, and they want to fight that. Why? I don't comprehend, but it's not my battle. I already have my own battles. All right? So if there's something that's not sitting well with you for some reason, you need to do some deeper research. Because I'm talking to you both from my knowledge of research and also my experience upon the application of such knowledge and research and in the results. All right? The U.S. citizen is a person. It's not you. However, you have the option of classifying yourself as the person. Thus, when you look at question number 18 on the SS5 form, it'll give you 4 options. You can be self, you can be natural guardian or parent, you can be the authorized representative or the custodian, or you can check the other box. And in that other box, you should put either owner or grantor or beneficiary or heir. Like for me personally, I put grantor/heir. Right, but these are all words that are pretty much bringing in the same vibration, which is this person is the owner. What's my relationship to this person? Oh, I'm the owner. If I check self, then what I'm saying is that I'm the person, and therefore, if I'm the person, then who's the people? You see what I'm saying? Your person is your own personal yacht. Everyone that was born here had a yacht made for them. All right, so now it's up to you to define whether that yacht is on waters sailing without a captain or not. If the yacht has an owner, then where's the owner? Because the owner should be behind the wheel, directing where the yacht is going, based on the owner's will. If the owner is declaring to be the yacht, then the yacht has no owner. Therefore, that's what you would consider lost at sea, or the Cestui Que Vie. The Cestui Que Vie Act, which was brought into place to bring the dead to life. And which type of people were considered dead legally? And a lot of people may think that I'm racist or some type of thing for this statement, but honestly, the people who were considered dead were the Slavs. The Slavs were considered dead. They were not considered part of the natural ways of humanity. Okay? They had to be taught and brought into that. Don't forget, y'all, these are the same people that didn't know how to read, write, bathe, or cook. Okay? Let's not lose that. That's a fact. That's a fact. These people did not know how to bathe, read, or write, or cook. All right? So we can't act like that's not a fact. That's a fact. So therefore, whatever premise we're speaking from has to be in alignment with those basic facts. So when niggas be like, oh, it's the white man's law, I'm like, well, how? How could it be the white man's law when this is the same nigga that couldn't read right, cook, and didn't know how to bathe? If you ain't know nothing, if you didn't know how to read or write, how could you have the concept or the thought to write or establish a constitution or to write laws? That's crazy. But people run with this narrative, and then we call ourselves intelligent. That's crazy. All right? Therefore, when you understand that you are not the U.S. citizen, the U.S. citizen is a person, then that changes the whole directive of how you're supposed to operate. The whole directive, okay? As a people who is the owner of a U.S. citizen, that's really what the status is supposed to be. We as the people are in our right. We must first be able to identify ourselves as one of the people, and then from there, as one of the people, we are in possession and ownership of an estate, and that estate is your birth certificate and everything that is produced from it. Social security card, state ID, driver's license, etc., etc. You see what I'm saying? Passport. Your passport is originally derived from the birth certificate. All right. So there's nothing wrong with these instruments. What's wrong is that we don't understand how they function, and a lot of people are just making a whole lot of guesstimations and shit, trying to sound intelligent, but not really understanding what it is. So you look at my type of documentation, you look at my SS5 form and be like, oh, nigga, why you got that joint marked off as U.S. citizen? I'm like, because you don't understand. The census definition clearly states if I'm an American Indian, then it is a person that has origins in any of the original people of North, South, Central America. So who am I? Am I the person, or am I one of the original peoples of North, South, Central America? Now, clearly, if I designate that I, as far as my relationship goes, am the owner or the grantor or the heir or the beneficiary, then that would mean that I can't be the person. I would have to be one of the people that person has origins in. Y'all gotta get this shit together, man. Y'all out here fighting a ghost that don't exist. A ghost that don't exist, bruh. It's your estate, and you're scared of your own shit. And rather than do the due diligence and the research to be able to show and prove that this is an actual substantial fact, they'd rather go off of feelings and shit. Oh, it's a U.S. citizen. Oh, you're in a jurisdiction. I don't even fucking understand what the word jurisdiction means. Jurisdiction means the right to speak about something. Juris means right or law. Diction means to speak or words. Jurisdiction ain't got nothing to do with a place or territory. Jurisdiction has everything to do with your right to speak on a matter. If you understand what these words mean, you'll move differently, because you'll be moving in truth. So when someone's talking about, oh, you don't have no jurisdiction over me, just the mere fact you said that means that they got jurisdiction over you, because you shouldn't have to tell no one that they don't have a right to speak on your matters. If they know they don't have a right to speak on your matters, they just won't speak on your matters. Period. But once again, this is the internal fight, the internal battle. So you got people out here, and I will admit I'm partially to blame for that, because there was a point in time when I was reading Title 8 of the United States Codes, then I was referring to ourselves as aliens, non-immigrant aliens. But you got to understand, we move as non-immigrant aliens, but in retrospect, we are not non-immigrant aliens. Let me break this down for you. For me to be an alien, I have to have a green card. For me to be an alien means that I'm not from this particular land. It means that I'm from somewhere else, and my family brought me here, and then I had to be naturalized into this government. Although we're on the same continent, we could have came from a different country on the same continent. For example, I'm Haitian, right? If I was born in Haiti and I got naturalized into the United States of America over here, then at that point, let's say if I didn't get naturalized into the United States of America, then I'll be liable to be deported. Irregardless of the fact if I select myself to be an American, irregardless of the fact even if I write Haitian in the SS5 form, I would still be at risk of deportation. Why? Because I failed to classify myself as the title in the census that truly matters, which is American Indian. Because if you select American Indian, Haitian will fall up underneath that. Jamaican would fall up underneath that. Cuban would fall up underneath that. Argentinian underneath that. Brazilian underneath that. Trinidad and Tobago underneath that. Honduras underneath that. Anywhere from South America, Peru underneath that. All right? Understand what I'm saying, yo. All right? And that's your boy.